With that, just a status update from where we were after this morning's 10 o'clock press briefing. Maybe most significantly around 11:30 today, the decision was made in cooperation with Napa County Sheriff's Department and the City of Calistoga to implement an evacuation warning in Napa County for the Calistoga area of northern Napa. And that was due again to fire activity and moving in that direction. We can confirm that additional structures have been destroyed and damaged in this fire. We have damage inspection teams on the fire right now going methodically through the entire fire area to get a better count and a better number of the type of structures. Unfortunately, we had 2 firefighter injuries today. They were both burn injuries. The first one appears relatively minor. The firefighter was taken by ground ambulance to a burn center. The second one was more significant. The firefighter was airlifted and flown to UC Davis Medical Center for burn injuries. We do have additional resources coming into the area. This includes in resources from outside the state of California, the National Guard, and additional cooperators from within the state. I will just read off the latest facts for the fire before we get into our speakers. We can confirm the fire is now at least 54,298 acres. Containment has unfortunately gone down to 5% from 10% this morning. We can confirm that we have 94 structures that have been destroyed and 17 structures that have been damaged. Of those, the composition between residential structure, outbuilding, and commercial will be forthcoming. We still have just under 80,000 structures throughout the area that are still threatened by fire. And to deal with that, we have over 3,400 firefighters on the line. As far as evacuations go, in Sonoma County, zones 1 through 10 are still an evacuation order, and in Napa County, zone 21 is still an evacuation warning. With that, we are going to do like we did this morning and get an update from the National Weather Service. I'll hand it over to our incident meteorologist, Brian Walbron.
All right, good evening. So once again, we did have very challenging weather conditions out on the fire lines today. We did have recorded wind gusts on the order of 75 miles an hour. As we move into this evening, we are still under that red flag warning that is in effect until 11 a.m. Monday morning. Right now, the latest observations as of around 6 p.m. this evening is we still have 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts out on the fire lines. Humidity values remain critically low. We've been down to about 9% and are staying in the teens, so those are tough firefighting conditions. The good news is as that red flag warning expires tomorrow, it looks like we have about a 24-hour window of favorable weather Monday afternoon and into Tuesday. We will then be getting ready for another wind event as we look into Tuesday night into Wednesday, and right now, unfortunately, we have no rain in the forecast through the end of the month. Thanks.
Next will be our fire behavioral analyst, Steve Vollmer.
Good evening. With the new location of the fire, we're continuing to see the erratic fire spread along with long-range spotting as it continues to move. We're still modeling the fire behavior on the west side of Highway 101 as well as the fire behavior in the current area where the fire is burning. When we have the wind shifts that will occur tomorrow afternoon, that's going to greatly aid the firefighting effort. It's going to decrease the intensity of the fire, decrease the flame lengths and the rate of spread, and allow us to go after it a little more aggressively. However, it will wind test the northeastern section of the fire up in the high country. We will see increase in fire activity again Tuesday evening when that other system comes through.
And for an operational overview of what is actually occurring on the line right now, we have Incident Commander Mike Blankenheim. I'll turn it over to him.
All right, good evening, everybody. A quick recap of where we were at this morning. So both the weather predictions and the fire behavior predictions proved to be extremely accurate today. The wind surfaced around 1 o'clock this morning and brought the fire out of the hills here and across Highway 128 at around 3 o'clock this morning. At about 11 o'clock this morning, the fire was impacting the 101 freeway between Windsor and Healdsburg. So it's from 11 o'clock this morning till now. Fortunately, the fire has not crossed the 101. The wind is kind of lined up in a more northerly direction and is pushed straight south on the east side of 101, Currently, the fire edge is somewhere just south of the community of Windsor near Shiloh, where our resources are actively engaged in both perimeter control and attempts at structure defense.
And before we let the incident commander back to the command post, are there any questions related to operations for him? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Chief. With that, we'll hand it over to Sheriff Essick.
All right, good evening. So we've been getting a lot of questions up tonight about evacuation. Are the evacuation orders still in place? Yes, they are. So all the areas that we have ordered to be evacuated earlier still remain in effect. The way that you, the public, can keep up to date on evacuation orders is you can text your zip code to 888-777, that's Nixle. 888-777, text your zip code, and you will be updated on evacuation orders and when we start to repopulate areas. But we are not there yet. This afternoon, I had a chance to take a look at the fire from the air, from the Sheriff's Office helicopter, Henry 1, and I can report to you that this is still a very active fire. And so our decision to make evacuation orders was well warranted. The fire approached the northeastern edge of Windsor. The CAL FIRE teams and the firefighters and public safety people on the ground there did an amazing job in an effort to stop the fire before it entered into the town of Windsor. Their efforts were incredible, and right now we are very happy that it appears that the fire is at the edge of Windsor. Now, things could obviously change, but so far the efforts there have been very valiant, and we're very, very happy and thankful.